How to get a diagnosis for asthma. What doctors actually look for. Most veterans think asthma is easy to diagnose. You feel short of breath, you wheeze, you go to the doctor, and you get diagnosed. Asthma is not diagnosed based on symptoms alone. It requires patterns, testing, and clinical judgment. What asthma diagnosis really is. Asthma is a chronic airway condition, characterized by inflammation and narrowing of the airways. Diagnosis is based on three core elements: a pattern of respiratory symptoms, evidence of variable airflow limitation, clinical reasoning that ties those findings together. This is important because under 38 CFR Part 3, the VA requires a current diagnosed disability. Without a confirmed diagnosis, the claim cannot move forward, regardless of how real the symptoms feel. Symptoms and clinical patterns. Doctors look for specific symptom patterns when evaluating asthma. These include shortness of breath, wheezing, chest tightness, and chronic or intermittent cough. But more important than the symptoms themselves is how they behave over time. Physicians are evaluating frequency. Does this happen occasionally or regularly? Triggers. Is it worse with exercise, cold air, allergens, or exposures? Variability. Do symptoms come and go? Are there flare-ups? Functional impact. Does it limit physical activity, sleep, or work performance? Asthma is a pattern-based diagnosis. One complaint is not enough. Repeated, consistent symptoms over time carry much more weight clinically and later in VA evaluation. How physicians actually diagnose asthma. The primary test used is spirometry, also known as pulmonary function testing. This measures how much air you can move in and out of your lungs and how quickly. Doctors are looking for signs of airflow obstruction and, more importantly, reversibility. They test your breathing, give a bronchodilator like albuterol, and test again. If your lung function improves significantly, that supports an asthma diagnosis. Other tools may include peak flow measurements over time, methylcholine challenge testing when spirometry is normal, chest imaging to rule out other causes, clinical response to inhalers. Asthma tests can be normal on a good day. That does not mean the condition is not present. It means the pattern must be evaluated over time. Why tests can be normal and still matter. One of the biggest frustrations veterans have is being told, "Your test is normal." Asthma is episodic, symptoms flare and improve. If testing is done when symptoms are mild, the results may not capture the problem. That is why physicians rely on repeated testing, symptom history, response to treatment, consistency across visits. From a VA perspective, this becomes critical. Under 38 CFR Part 4, ratings are based on severity, frequency, and functional impact. If the medical record only shows one normal test with no pattern, the condition may appear mild or even non-existent. Connection to VA evaluation, why documentation matters. Once a diagnosis is established, it becomes a current disability under 38 CFR Part 3, but the quality of that diagnosis matters. Adjudicators later look at consistency of symptoms across records, objective findings like pulmonary tests, treatment history, including inhaler use, frequency of exacerbations or flare-ups, functional impact on daily life. This follows M21-1 principles: consistency, credibility, medical plausibility, totality of evidence. A well-documented diagnosis shows a clear pattern over time. A weak record shows isolated complaints without support. Common mistakes that weaken the medical record. Only going to one appointment and not following up. Inconsistent reporting of symptoms across visits. Lack of documented triggers or functional impact. No objective testing or incomplete testing. Gaps in treatment history. These gaps make it harder for clinicians to confirm the diagnosis and harder for the VA to evaluate the condition later. What weakens a record is not always the condition itself, but gaps in documentation and lack of consistent patterns. If you want to understand how to build a strong medical record before entering the VA process, that's exactly why we built Vets Portal. It helps break down what actually matters in a way that makes sense. And if you need a medically supported independent medical opinion, K&D Veterans Medical Assessments focuses on building strong, evidence-based support. Make sure you subscribe to the deck plate so you don't miss the next breakdown. Because understanding the process early can change your outcome. Always verify your condition using the actual rating criteria in 38 CFR Part 4. Summaries can help you understand the process, but the VA makes decisions based on the regulation itself.